Hello, everyone. This is my first time, so are we live? It looks like we are. Let's check the audio really quick. Pardon me, this is some tech stuff I gotta figure out. And move the camera slightly. There we go. So what's going on, everybody? First, I want to start while we wait for some people to show up, and if nobody shows up, hey, that's great. But there's always a first live stream. I wanted to start by thanking every one of my YouTube subscribers, my friends, my family, everybody who's helped my channel grow over the last few years. And you know, it's been kind of a slow growth over the past year, but hitting 3,000 was a pretty big deal for me. So thank you so much for everything. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit those up in the chat, and I'll try to get to every single one of them. I'm not expecting a lot of people to show up because of the time of day and because I kind of put this up there at short notice, but I'll get to all of them. And for some of you who stick around, during the live Q&A, I might have a giveaway for you, a pretty sweet one. So stick around for a little bit and we'll get more into that. But I can start with some questions I got from Instagram and Twitter. I threw this question out there a little while ago, wanting to get some feedback or some questions from people to see what they thought or what they wanted to know about me. I know that's one thing with my channel that it's kind of my weak point, is I haven't really put too much of my personality out there. Pretty much all my reviews are to a minute, so there's not much time for me to let you get to know me as a person. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to do with these kind of Q&As, is to let you in on what's going on with me personally and kind of get to know my personality a little bit better. But like I said, a little while back, I put some questions out there for people to ask if they had any thing they wanted to know, or, you know, any burning questions. Let's see, let's go to Instagram first. Oh, hey, what's up, Tommy P? Thanks for tuning in. It's just you and me right now, buddy. If you want to know anything, let me know. First question we'll go with was, what is your most anticipated movie for the rest of the year? And as many of you who have been following me for a long time probably know, Star Wars is my jam. So without a doubt, The Rise of Skywalker is probably the movie I'm most looking forward to right now. Second to that, I'm pretty excited for Knives Out. That Rian Johnson movie seems to be getting a lot of buzz. I have some friends on YouTube and in life who've seen it, and they just have wonderful things to say about it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hey, Josh from Nashville. Thank you so much for the comments. I'm glad you like my reviews. And I'm glad we have similar tastes. Sorry, I'm looking over here because this is where my live chat is. Let me move that. But have I seen Lighthouse yet? Asked Brent. No, I have not. And that's one of those movies I'm looking forward to seeing. Don't know when I'm going to see it. I might not get to see it until it's on home release, but we'll see. Maybe I'll sneak something in there. Have you seen it yet, Brent? I'm hearing pretty good things. It's different that it's black and white, but I can appreciate why, and that seems like a pretty cool movie. What else? Oh, I was going to questions on Twitter. Here we go. Yeah, I've not seen it, but I heard it's very different. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too, and I hear it's pretty performance-driven, and those actors in that movie are, from what I hear, pretty fantastic. I will say I did see Zombieland Double Tap last night. That was a lot of fun. I have the review written up right now, and I just need to shoot it and edit it, so that'll probably be coming out in the next few hours. I will say that don't expect much from me next week. We're taking the family on a much needed vacation. We'll be gone for a full week, and I'm not going to have any internet service, so you won't even see me on Twitter or Instagram, but we're going to be going on a cruise. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a well-needed vacation for our family. So I unfortunately won't be able to review anything next week, but I am looking forward to coming back and seeing Terminator Terminator Dark Fate. That's one of my more anticipated movies of the year. Really anxious to see how that turns out. I'm a huge fan of T2. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, so I'm excited to see the sequel and follow-up to that and how it unfolds. Tommy P reviews says, "Oh, it's not out till the end of January." Oh, that's I think he's referring to The Lighthouse. Oh, that's too bad. Well, we'll just have to wait patiently. While you're leaving my dad. I don't know what that means, but okay. So where was I? Oh yeah, and also I don't know if you guys have been following along with my side ventures or collaborations, but you'll notice an absence of ranking videos on my channel. I used to do those a lot more frequently, but the reason is I am still doing those ranking videos, but they live on a different channel. I'm collaborating with a very awesome channel called Film Is Now. They're based in Europe, but they primarily show movie trailers on their channel, and they have a bunch of other pop culture related packages and things like that. But they reached out to me, and I'm collaborating with them and doing ranking videos for them. But they're all my style. I edit, shoot them, write them, everything. So if you want to see some of my ranking videos, I have a playlist actually in my playlist that's all my Film Is Now collaborations. You can check them out there. I have also included those ranking videos in my ranking video playlist. So if you just follow that ranking video playlist, you'll see all my rankings. Now the reason I brought that up is because I'm planning on doing, right now I'm planning on doing a ranking of all the Terminator movies just a few days after Dark Fate comes out. So look forward to that. Let's see. Oh, hi Brady. My friend's son is watching. Thank you, Brady. You're so supportive. I think you're my biggest fan of your age group. Josh says he gets less and less excited about Dark Fate with each new trailer. Yeah, sadly, we were at the Zombieland last night and they showed a Dark Fate trailer, and I told my buddy, I said, I wish they didn't show as much as they're showing. I think it's gonna really take away from the movie. But you know what? Sadly, that's the day and age we live in now, where they just show all the sexy footage in the trailer, so it's not as cool when we finally see it on the big screen. That's just what we're doing. Whatever. Let's see, what else? Let's see, Brady says, oh yeah, Brady told me his favorite movie, or the movie he's most looking forward to, is Midway. That looks pretty cool. It looks visually stunning. The director is a little hit or miss, but he definitely doesn't disappoint in the visual effects realm. Roland Emmerich, the disaster movie guy, has done all the big, giant world disaster movies, and most of those aren't so great. They're okay to watch, but hey, Brady, if you're excited for that, that is awesome. Brent, one expected movie that came out this year was a.m.a. That was great. So I did see a.m.a. I saw it a little late. I'm a pretty big Luc Besson fan. He directed that movie. If you didn't know, you probably did. But like Transporter, The Professional, I love those movies so much. a.m.a. was great. It was good. It wasn't my favorite. I will say I was a little disappointed with it, but the action didn't disappoint, and I thought the performances from some of those big names in that movie were pretty solid. So yeah, it was cool. I didn't see it in the theater, like I said. I actually streamed it and rented it. So I don't know. I will say that I love that trailer though. That was one of the trailers that I was like, oh, this movie looks good. But I kind of knew deep down that no, it wasn't going to be that great. What else? I want to remind you guys, if you aren't already, I am on Instagram. That's where I basically have most of my content besides YouTube. Sometimes I even put more up there. I like to share some funny memes I find, or I always put up vertical versions of my reviews in Instagram TV. So you can always check those out there if you're just on your smartphone, if you prefer the vertical format. Twitter, you can follow me at 1 Minute Critic. I tweet there sometimes, not so much, but the best place to reach me on Twitter is at Kristian. That's Kreshjun, and I'm tweeting there constantly. So I try to overlap and do both on each account, but it's kind of tough. I got a lot going on. I don't know if you know, I'm a stay-at-home dad, Monday through Friday. Got my hands full with a 2-year-old. So it's kind of hard to focus on all the movie news when it's breaking. I usually find out a little later than usual. Where before I had kids, I was on top of everything. I knew every nook and cranny of everything coming out or happening. Nowadays, I'm a little slower, but I try to still keep up on that news. Let's see. Tommy P, thanks for following. Good to know. Oh, also Instagram, Twitter, and then if you have the a.m.a app, you should check that out. I also put up some special ranking videos on there that are just for the a.m.a app, and it's actually a pretty cool app because very short and concise videos. Most of them are less than a minute long or a minute long, and I actually do entire ranking videos on there. I've done The Conjuring, I've done MCU, I've done Tarantino movies. So those are all on a.m.a. So those are real quick takes of some of my favorite movies and rankings. Let's see. Josh asks, do you think the movie experience influences your reviews versus watching at home? That's a really good question. And I think absolutely. And most importantly, not just seeing it in the theater, but each audience you see it with is different. If you see a movie, I remember I saw Expendables on opening night, and people were jumping out of their seats. They were so stoked on that movie. And I love that movie. I walked out of that movie thinking that was the greatest action movie ever. And I mean, I still love the movie, but you know, after watching it at home, much different experience. So absolutely. Fitness Deals News. Love the channel. Love the no spoiler approach, and congrats on 3K. Hey, thanks so much. If I remember right, Fitness Deal News, he actually, one of his first comments I think he sent me was a tip on an adjustment I should maybe make to my channel, and hey, I did that. So, and I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think it was you. But I like to listen to my viewers, and if they have suggestions that I think are legit, hey, why not? I'll use those. Let's see. A question from Twitter. What am I watching on TV right now? So I just finished watching Ballers on HBO, and I'm not a huge football fan, and I like The Rock. He's cool. He's not my favorite, but he's cool. But that show really started off strong, and then it just kind of fizzled out. Like this whole last season feels like they just wanted to wrap it up and throw it away, which was really disappointing because I really loved where it was going, how it kind of gave you this inside look of the NFL and the agents and all that stuff. If you haven't checked it out, if you're a big fan of the NFL, definitely check it out because there's tons of cameos from players and coaches, and they even kind of tie in realities of what's happening in the NFL. But sadly, it's short-lived, only 5 seasons, and that just wrapped up. Oh, Fitness Deal News. You are right. Yep. Thanks for the tip, buddy. Also, I am watching right now Ash vs. Evil Dead. Now, I did see it during its first run, but if you've been following me on Instagram, the entire month of October, I've been watching at least one horror movie every day. And hashtag Halloween Horror Month. And I did binge through all the Evil Deads. Love each and every one of them. And I thought it was appropriate once I finished the movies to get right into this series. And boy, do I love that series. Being on Stars, they don't hold back. So much gore, so much personality. I love that show. Again, another show that was way too short-lived. What's my opinion on Countdown? Well, I don't really have an opinion. I feel like these tech-based horror movies are so gimmicky and so timeless. Not timeless, what's the word I'm looking for? Timely, yeah. Because in like 10 years, no one's gonna, apps might be totally different. I mean, just here's a perfect example. Look back at The Ring. When that movie came out, it was phenomenal. But now it's about the VHS tape. Nobody watches VHS tapes anymore. And unless you're my age or a little or older, you might not even know what a VHS tape is. So it really kind of spoils the entertainment value of the movie later on. So Countdown, meh, I'm gonna see it, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm watching The Flash before the new season. Oh, hey, that's one group of shows that I really don't watch are the Arrowverse, The Flash, pretty much anything on the CW. And I'll tell you why. I actually don't watch much network TV at all. And the reason, it's kind of a lame excuse, but I feel like it's a situation where I've been burned so many times that I just kind of gave up. Basically, we all know the drill. The networks announced this amazing show. They put a lot of money into it. It goes on for a few seasons. You really get invested in all the characters and the storyline, and then they kill it. And most of the time, it's mid-story. And so you have no conclusion, you have no closure, and you're just left hanging. I got so sick of that that I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch HBO series, the premium cable series, and the streaming service series because they are much more likely to go the full run of the show. But I know a lot of people love The Flash. I know a lot of people love Arrow. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's so much stuff coming out now. It's so hard to want to go back to older series and try to catch up and still stay on top of some of these newer ones. Um, yeah, I did like the Joker. It's interesting because Brady asked, "I watched your review on the Joker. It looks like you maybe liked it." Yeah, I think I gave it a 5 out of 6, which that's one of my higher scores. I did like it. It's really dark. It I don't know. It's a really well made film. I mean, really, this whole ceiling point of the whole thing is that Joaquin Phoenix's performance is just astronomical. It's incredible. He becomes the Joker, and when you look at him, you don't think Joaquin Phoenix. He's the Joker, and it's one of those movies that I really liked it, but it's one of those. I'm not sure how many times I'm going to want to go back and revisit it. I'll definitely check it out again when it comes out on Blu-ray, but it's probably going to be one of those movies you watch once every 5 years or so. It's pretty heavy, and it kind of leaves you in a dark place, but wow, what an incredible movie. I would say it is one of the better movies in recent years. Now, I'm going to be honest, going into the Joker, when they first announced it, I was very skeptical. In fact, I was kind of a little bit of a hater towards it, and it's because to me it felt like they kept touting it's going to be this performance, uh, a tour de force from Joaquin Phoenix. He's going to blow you away with his performance, and that's great. I believe that. I never doubted Joaquin Phoenix's abilities, but I always felt like this could have been any performance-driven plot on any character, like his inside the mind of a dark, twisted killer. But I felt like they were cheapening it by slapping on a comic book sticker just to sell more tickets. That was my big concern going into it. But after seeing it and watching it all unfold, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I'll admit I was wrong thinking that going in. But I think that's because I was really worried that's what it was going to be. Overall, I'm mostly disappointed with just how almost every DC movie has turned out in recent years. There's no consistency. I mean, you look at Marvel and specifically the MCU, and some are good and some are okay, but there's really no bad movies. But then you look at the DCEU and just some of the other DC movies in general, and it's like some are really great and some are just garbage trash. And I get so frustrated by that up and down of liking something and being disappointed. So I kind of find it hard to get excited for any DC movies. Tommy says he keeps changing his mind. Yeah, I can totally see how. And it borrows a lot from other movies. Like you could almost say the whole entire movie is just a hodgepodge, of different scenes taken from different Scorsese movies and other like dramas from the 70s and 80s. But I think it works, and I really think it gives a good insight into the origin of Joker, which we've never seen before. And I think that's pretty cool. Doom Patrol. Yeah, that's another show I haven't watched. Again, I grew up as a Marvel kid. I read a lot of Marvel comics, some Image comics, but I really didn't, aside from a few Batman comics, I really didn't read much DC, so I've never really felt kinship to those books. Yeah, so like stuff like that, the Doom Patrol or like the Justice League. I just have no knowledge of their existence. So when they are announced, I'm like, interesting, but it's hard for me to get excited, basically. Let's see here. Keep the questions coming, guys. This is great. Sorry I'm a little choppy and disorganized, but I kind of tried to figure out my setup here at the last minute, which I shouldn't have. But I'm going to try to get to all these questions. Any movies you're excited for in 2020? Top Gun and Fast and Furious 9. Those are two really good ones. Top Gun, oh my gosh. I'm sure you guys all felt the same way, but when they were, I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect that trailer. It blew my mind. It was so good. I cannot wait for that. And the coolest thing about it is, um, they could do anything with the Top Gun sequel, and I feel like in most cases they would have just used like over the top CGI for the jet fights or the aircraft battles or even stunts. But because of Tom Cruise and his pedigree, not all, but probably most of all those sequences are going to be legit. They're going to be practical and they're going to be really done by pilots. So I think it's going to leave all our jaws on the floor. But movies I'm excited for 2020. Let me think. 2020. Fast and Furious. I'm drawing a blank right now, so I'm doing the lazy man approach, and I'm pulling up Google right now. Oh, well, that's an easy one. No Time to Die, James Bond. Huge James Bond fan. I like all of them, the good ones and the terrible ones. And I think Daniel Craig is so great in the role, so I'm really excited to see No Time to Die. Birds of Prey, again, like the trailer, I don't know. It's hard for me to get excited because of the streakiness of the DC films. Ghostbusters will be interesting. I'm really anxious to see how we connect that to Ghostbusters 2 and if it's any good. There's always that hesitation when they bring back these old franchise movies that they're not going to have the same feel or the same continuity. It's always a concern, especially for such a beloved one. Another one, Quiet Place 2 will be a good. That first one really blew me away. I'm anxious for Bill and Ted Face the Music. Love those movies. I even love the second one. They're so much fun to watch. And it'll be so great to see those two actors together again. What else? Let's see. We've also got Venom 2 coming out in 2020. I didn't hate the first movie. It has a lot of problems. I didn't love how they just brought Venom gave him his own movie without Spider-Man, and that connection that just felt wrong, but it was okay for what it was. I was just Googling it too. That's really funny. Yeah, it's funny. You don't really realize when you do these live streams. And again, this is my first time ever doing this, and I didn't put a lot of preparation in, to be completely honest, but I'm kind of just shooting from the hip here. And so when you have cameras pointing at you and people are watching, you get a little foggy in the head. So I was kind of like, let me pull up Google and see what we got coming out in 2020. Again, and then for the MCU, we've got Black Widow, which I've seen footage at D23. Oh, that movie looks awesome. I feel like the MCU is kind of bouncing back. I feel like they hit their climax with Infinity War, or I'm sorry, Endgame. And Far From Home was really good, but it was kind of a dip in the excitement level, or what should I call it? I'll just say this, like, the build up to Endgame was just over the years just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then once it all came to a head and wrapped up, and we know Spider-Man's coming out, you were excited, but you were like, well, what's going to happen? What's going to get us to want to hang on for longer? How much longer is this going to go on, and how much longer is it going to hold our interest? All questions that I feel like they're going to pull us in the right direction and hook us with something new, with new characters coming in and another big overarching story. We'll see what happens, but I'm really anxious to see where the MCU goes. Let's see here. Tommy says he's looking forward to The Kingsman. Don't forget The Kingsman. And Ghostbusters, Venom 2, Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong should be cool. Again, those movies, you can't overthink it. They are what they are. They're fun, but they don't make a lot of sense sometimes. But hey, sometimes you just want to go into a movie and turn your brain off and enjoy. At least that's what I do. Let's see here. Joshua, I went to see Quiet Place in the theater. Kids being loud and goofing off near me ruined it. I need to rewatch at home where it's quiet. Yeah. I remember I had the same feelings. And I was in a theater full of adults, but every rustling candy wrapper or someone chewing their popcorn too loud, it was just like you wanted to stand up and yell at somebody. But, you know, how often are you in a movie where the whole premise of the movie is complete silence? So you can't get too angry, but I totally understand. Yeah, pop that movie on late at night when you're all by yourself. It's really engaging, and it's really cool. I love that movie. Let's see. Last night I saw a trailer for Bad Boys for Life. Again, fun. Not a movie that I'm particularly super stoked for, but I think it'll be fun. Will Smith and oh my gosh, Martin Lawrence. They have such good chemistry together, and I love Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. So funny. Don't forget that reference in Hot Fuzz. Oh, so funny. You ain't seen Bad Boys 2? Oh my gosh, I love those movies. We've got Mulan. Not a huge fan of the Disney live action movies. Honestly, I'm not a huge Disney fan per se. I didn't watch a lot of them growing up, so I think that's maybe why. But, you know, people losing their mind for Toy Story, I'm just kind of like, eh. But, you know, hey, to each their own. I'm not going to say you're wrong for loving it. I did like Lion King. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I only saw the animated movie once, and I thought the live action movie was the same thing, it just looked better. So anyway, we all have different backgrounds and experiences. Tommy says, I'm really excited for the MCU in 2021. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor sounds great. Yeah, totally. The other thing that really adds new stuff into the mix are these Disney Plus series. I think they're really gonna help advance the MCU and make it a bigger universe and introduce way more characters, and they're gonna connect directly to film. So it's gonna be really cool to have these long backstories or these longer build-ups to individual movies. So you've got Scarlet Witch and Vision. That show sounds very interesting, the direction they're going there. You've got Hawkeye, Bucky, and Falcon. God, you guys, I'm like brain dead today. I'm sorry. Bucky and Falcon. Loki, I think that's the one I'm most excited for. So glad he's back. That was the saddest moment for me in Infinity War when he got his neck snapped by Thanos. That was pretty sad. But and speaking of Disney Plus, like Brady brings up, I think the thing I'm most excited for, and honestly, the whole reason I signed up for Disney Plus was The Mandalorian. That's gonna be crazy awesome. I hope I'm not overhyping it, but I saw footage at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, blew my mind, and then I saw some more at D23 with that trailer that all of you guys have seen. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a great show. I cannot wait to get into that show. And I'm planning on doing reviews on each episode for that particular show here, so right now I'm kind of devising a plan on how I'll do these episodic shows differently than my current format. I haven't figured it out completely yet, so I'm open to ideas. If you guys ever have any, you can DM me on Twitter or Instagram. Or for that matter, if there's any other ideas or anything that you think would be cool for me to look at or review or cover, don't hesitate to let me know. But The Mandalorian, and then you have all the other ones that are coming. You've got the Cassian Andor series, which we just got the writer from Rogue One attached. That's going to be great. More K2SO. I love K2SO. And then Obi-Wan. Finally, Ewan McGregor will be back So excited. Hey, it's James Eversole, my man. He asks, I'm sorry, let me go up one question. I'll get to you, James, just 1 second. Josh asks, what did you think of Scorsese's comments on the MCU? I completely understand where he's coming from. If you look at his movies compared to MCU movies, apples and oranges. I mean, I don't think he's wrong, but I don't think he's 100% right either. In a way, the MCU movies are more of an experience where you look at a Scorsese movie and it physically affects you and it leaves you thinking about yourself, not just the characters in the movie, but in your own head, what would I do, or am I like that? So I don't think he's wrong. I'll just say that. Okay, James, your turn. Your dream actor and director combo. Mine is Daniel Day-Lewis and Quentin Tarantino do a movie together. Oh, that would be cool. That would be very cool. I'm a huge Tarantino fan. Let's see, my favorite combo, or my dream combo, would probably be, let me think here. I know exactly what it would be, but it wouldn't take place now. It would have had to have taken place in the late 90s, or the late 80s, early 90s. Would have been Steven Spielberg, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just imagine what kind of movie that would be. That would be amazing. Not even a release date for Disney Plus in UK yet, so don't worry, man. I am confident you will be getting Disney Plus soon enough. That streaming service is gonna dominate the world. I guarantee. I mean, you saw all the titles they're releasing. It's gonna be mind-blowing. So just hold your breath a little longer. You'll get it not too much longer after us, I'm sure. Maybe they've announced it. I'm just not familiar, but it can't be too much longer from when we did. But yeah, back to James' question. That just thinking about the period of action movies that Arnold was doing at that time with a Spielberg eye or look or feel, that would be something dreams are made of for me. I mean, that's something that I would fantasize about. Like, if that ever happened, it would have been the greatest movie ever. Oh, Tommy thought the same thing I did. Hey, that's awesome. Great movie taste, buddy. Let's see here. Let me get some questions from Twitter. Oh, we'll do this. This was a question I thought up earlier that I thought I'd share with you guys. I think most people, when they come to YouTube and they see movie critics or reviewers, you could call them if they're not technically critics, they have a certain set of people they look at, and I think a lot of people have the same group. There's 5 people. You've got Stuckman, Jeremy Johns. You might follow the Collider guys, Christian Harloff, and all those guys. I wanted to share some of my favorite channels that maybe you haven't necessarily heard of, or you've heard of, but you haven't really invested a lot of time in checking out. One being, you may have heard of this gentleman. He started a few months before I did. I mean, he really started going hard a few months before I did, and he's blown up over the last year. He's huge now. In fact, you all in this room probably know who he is, but Sean Chandler. Great guy. I actually got the chance to meet him yesterday. We had lunch. He's in the LA area doing some meet and greets with other YouTubers, and he was kind enough to sit down with me for some food. But he's a great guy. He does a lot of ranking videos. Most specifically, the MCU is his forte. If you haven't checked his channel out, you got to do that. Great guy. Really cool and engaging videos. Some other up-and-comers that I really like. You have Film Speak by Griffin Schiller, I think is his last name. Good guy. He writes for the playlist. I don't know if he writes, but he might write. He's a contributor. We'll just say he's a contributor for the playlist. He's got some really in-depth reviews, and he's very articulate. So if you want to feel smart and classy, check his channel out. He's got some of the best hair on YouTube. That's just a side note. If you can't tell, I'm a little hair envious. But another up and coming channel. They've actually been on a little bit of a hiatus recently, but I've heard from a good source that they're coming back. Now, these guys don't have a lot of followers, but they are so much fun. They are the Chicks Watching Flicks. The last movie they reviewed was The Nun. And they've taken a break because of some things going on in life. There's three of them, three young ladies, and they're just so funny, and they play off of each other so well. But I hear from a really reliable source they're making a comeback. Check them out. Very funny girls. And then one of the really big channels that is my personal favorite, and I go to daily, is Cinemassacre. I don't know if any of you have heard of Cinemassacre. Let me know in the comments. They cover my two biggest, my two favorite subjects: video games and movies. And you've probably all heard of the Angry Video Game Nerd. That's his channel. But they are very well known for their video game content. But they actually have started doing these movie reviews, and they are very fun to listen to. They have really funny takes, and they share funny experiences. So definitely check out Cinemassacre. I promise you won't regret it. Let's see, Joshua asks, have I been recognized out in public yet? I have a couple of times. It was really weird. The first time I think I was at Comic-Con in LA, so LA Comic-Con, and someone just came up to me and it's like, hey, and they didn't say like a 1 Minute Critic or Kristian, they just said, hey, and I thought it was maybe somebody I had known or worked with, and I was like, hey. And they're like, you're that guy, YouTube guy. And I was like, oh yeah, that's me. That was kind of fun. And the other time was actually in line at the movie theater. Someone's like, hey, that's 1 Minute Critic. Cool, man, I like your stuff. And that was it. So I'm not by no means a celebrity. I've never felt like one. So yeah, it is kind of fun though to get recognized a little bit. Tommy says his favorite are Sean Chandler, Austin Burke. Austin Burke's a great guy. I've collaborated with him once or twice. That guy's work ethic is insane. I don't know how he turns out so much stuff. I mean, the guy watches entire television seasons in like 2 days, and he does an entire. I don't understand how it's possible, but hey, that's good for his business. And we inspired you to start. Hey, that's great, buddy. Have I ever watched Kill Count? Yes, very fun channel. And such a great idea, but I feel bad for them because of all the new rule changes on YouTube. It's really hit them hard, and he's really had to edit things differently, and basically he's had to change his whole formula because of these new rules if he wants to make money. I mean, and for all the work he puts into a video like that, he should make money because that's a lot of work. So I wish he had a little more free reign on there. Nasen Oirich, I hope I said your name right. Just saw your channel yesterday on your website for the first time. It is great. It was the MCU ranking. Oh, hey, thank you so much. What? Who won the giveaway? Maybe. That's right, I am doing a giveaway. One of the people in here right now, I'll give it another 10 minutes and then I'll announce what it is and I'll tell you what you can do. But yeah, you have just as good a chance as anyone else if you stick around for a little bit. I don't know why Tommy said you won the giveaway. I think he was just trying to be funny. I lost my train of thought. Where was I going before that happened? If you can't hear someone's mowing the lawn outside, it's pretty exciting. Yeah, Brady, your dad has every movie. He doesn't need it. He's got anything that I could possibly give away, your dad already has. We'll just say that. He buys stuff before it even comes out sometimes. I don't know how that works. Let me see. What else can I plug? What are my thoughts on the Flash show? Nawson, somebody already asked me that, and I haven't seen it, sadly. So I don't really have any thoughts. I'll just say quickly that I've never been a big DC guy. Batman is really the only character that I really got into, but otherwise, I'm more of a Marvel guy. Yeah, everyone says see season 1. Maybe I'll go back and watch it. We'll see. We'll see. There's so many good shows coming out that I want to see, and it's like, do I start an old one and get bogged down or sidetracked? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. So I'm going to go for about 20 more minutes. I got to go pick my kids up at school. But let's see. I was talking about. See, this is why you need to have a pad with notes on it. um, let's see. What will I watch on Disney Plus? Okay, so I already said I'm going to watch The Mandalorian. I am excited about that. Everyone knows that because that's what everyone's going to want to watch. I'm really excited about going back and watching some of the really obscure older Disney movies. I think the one I'm most excited to watch is this animated movie from I think it's the early '80s called The Black Cauldron, and it was really dark. It's like almost like a Lord of the Rings type animated movie, and I think they stopped releasing it on VHS because it didn't really match Disney's um, current brand, so they just put it in the vault. But that's going to be coming to Disney Plus. That's one you're going to want to check out. Now, keep in mind, I haven't seen it since the '80s, since I was a kid, but I just remember like zombies and like skeleton soldiers coming out of the ground, and we're not talking like cutesy, like talky Coco like skeletons. We're talking like flesh rotting off, knights in armor. From what I remember, it was a really cool movie. So I think that's one of the movies I'm really excited about. And I already did sign up for Disney Plus, Nelson. I signed up a long time ago. I had to make sure to get in on that on day one. I was talking about new rules. Well, just with sponsorship, like ads. Basically, if you have any adult content, cursing, violence, anything that's not child appropriate, you won't get any ads. There's no monetization. So basically, he wouldn't make any money on it. So that's what I was talking about. Have you ever seen Meet the Robinsons? I did once a long time ago. And I did mention this earlier in the stream, but I've never been a huge Disney movie fan. In fact, well, as a kid, I never really watched many of them growing up. So I missed out on a lot of them. But I will say, since I've had kids, I have 3 younger kids. I've been seeing a lot more of them, and they're fun to watch. I feel like I'm discovering these new movies. Nawson's killing it with the questions, you guys. What Marvel Disney Plus show are you most excited for? Again, I answered this one, but hey, I'll do it again just for you. Loki. I'm really excited for Loki. Thor is my favorite Avenger because he's the strongest Avenger. And when Loki died, when he perished in Infinity War, I was very heartbroken. But when he made his comeback in Endgame, I was very happy. So I'm very excited to see what they do with this series. And if it involves time travel or interdimensional travel, it's going to be great. Tom Hiddleston is incredible. Okay. Thor is superior, yes. Let's talk about the giveaway. So what I'm going to do is, for those of you watching now, not very many of you, but thank you so much for being here. If you guys DM me on my Instagram, I'll say and I'll give you a question. And if you answer it correctly, no, that's dumb, because then you can just Google it. Let's just do this. DM me on my Instagram, and we'll say the third person to DM me will win a digital copy of Spider-Man Far From Home. So go now, hurry. My Instagram. Direct message me on my Instagram. Third person to direct message me on my Instagram gets a digital copy of Spider-Man Far From Home. Is Red Heat a good Arnold movie? Oh, yeah. Okay, you have to be a big Arnold fan, first of all. But that movie is superb. Mwah. Arnold doing a Russian accent with an Austrian accent first. Incredible. There's a brutal fight scene it'll take a locker room fight scene. They're basically just wearing towels over their front. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's so good. Very, very violent, like Total Recall level violent. And it's just fun. I mean, it's if you want to be really critical, it's a dumb movie, but it's classic Arnold action. Do I use movies anywhere? Yes, I do, and I love it. Are they making an Uncharted show? They're making an Uncharted movie. Um, I don't know all the details, but I think Tom Holland is attached, and it's kind of like if I remember right, and I could be wrong. Again, I'm not totally up on the news, but I think he is playing a younger version of Nathan Drake, and it's kind of leading up to when he becomes the famous archaeological adventurer. So it should be fun. I'm a huge fan of the game. Again, that's another revered property that they've got to do right for. Like, I know a lot of people hated what they did with Assassin's Creed. I didn't like it very much. I love the games, but I didn't like the movie. So it's one of those hit or miss things. I mean, to make a really good video game based movie is so hard these days. It's pretty sad when people say the best video game movie is what was it? There was one that it's like an animated was it Angry Birds? I don't there were some reviews saying it's pretty sad when the best I don't know what it is. I'm wrong. But basically my point is there are no good video game movies. So I hope that's a good one. Have I seen Ninja Assassin? Yes, I did once a long time ago. Loved it. I'm a huge action guy. So if it's an action movie, even if it looks kind of bad, I always jump right into those. And I remember that movie was very cool. So I like that movie. Thanks for the question, Jiminator. What do I think of Aquaman? I liked Aquaman. It reminded me basically it was Thor, but underwater. Jason Momoa is great. After watching out of that movie, I was a full-blown Momoa sexual. So I'm totally into Jason Momoa. Great guy. Really good, fun actor. A Minecraft movie. My kids are obsessed with Minecraft. Honestly, I could be without a Minecraft movie. So, but hey, if that's what you want, that's great. All right, I just finished Game of Thrones. What did you think of the finale? Okay, yeah, that's a sore subject. Huge. I love Game of Thrones. I love it. I still love it. I was just very disappointed in the last 4 seasons. I just thought it just kind of floozied out and just. They rushed through it too fast. The last 4 episodes should have been spread out over 2 seasons. There was really no closure, and it was disappointing. It wasn't the result that I hated. It was just how quickly it all resoluted. It was like 3 episodes. It all just went and it was done. So that's my thoughts. I could do a whole video on that, but I don't think I will. How about a retro 1 minute review segment? Maybe go back and review the 80s movies. Actually, Josh, that is something I'm developing right now. It's a new series. I think I'm gonna call Holly Weird, and I'm gonna just do. It's not gonna be like my current reviews. It's gonna be more video essay esque, with more of a snarky tone. But I want to review some really classic 80s and 90s like B movies that are just so ridiculous that they're so fun to watch. And there's a lot of them out there that I guarantee you none of you have heard of, but if you ever watched, they would be among your favorite movies. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. And also just classic 80s movies in general. Maybe I'm a big fan of all 80s action. I feel like that specific decade of action movies is the climax of action. So maybe I'll do some sort of segment on those. It's just hard because the way YouTube is, if you're not doing current and new titles, it's really hard to get people to watch your videos about old movies or old TV shows. So that's something I'm definitely toying with. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens there. If they can make a movie based on a game, what would you choose? God, that's a tough question. A game. Let me think about that for a minute. I'll come back. Have I seen the new Sonic design? Yes, it's fine. I did think the original movie design looked weird, but I wasn't one of the people that was outraged. Yeah, the new design's fine. It looks just like Sonic. Again, I don't know why people are so outraged. It's a Sonic movie. It's not going to change any lives. Have I seen the original Mission Impossible show? Just a few episodes here and there. Not many. Big fan of the movie series, though. Big fan. Well, guys, I'm going to start wrapping it up, maybe for another 5 more minutes, and then we'll wrap this up completely. But I can take a few more questions. Let's see, Jiminator. I would argue that the Daredevil TV show has choreography on par with great action movies like The Raid and The Night Comes for Us. Yes, having a much lower budget. Yeah, those Marvel Netflix shows were great. Aside from Iron Fist, Daredevil specifically, so good. Again, tragic it got canceled. I liked the first season of Cage. Second season was eh. Jessica Jones, I didn't like the first season, but I liked the second season. And then I love, my favorite character in all of those is the Punisher. I love the Punisher in Daredevil season 2 and his own series. Love the Punisher. I need more John Bernthal Punisher. I would be stoked if they announced a John Bernthal Punisher movie. That would be amazing. Anyway. When will it be your next live stream? I don't know. Maybe I'll do more of these. Maybe I'll do one a month. I put this off just because I never knew how I would set it up or mostly where I would do this in my house. Right now I'm sitting at my dining room table. Not my favorite location to do this, but maybe I can put together a little set and I'll do this more often. But no, it's fun. I like to interact with you guys. I feel like that's one thing that my channel's missing is you guys don't really know me, my personality. You're just seeing my reviews, which if you like my reviews, that's great. But if you get to know me a little better, it might help you like me more. I don't know. It's not that I need you to like me, but I just thought it'd be a interesting idea to show you more of my personal side and give you kind of an off the tier, less organized version of Kristian. Thanks for the Q&A. Have a good one. All right, Josh. Thanks, man. Game movie. Oh gosh. This is hard, Brady. Madden. I'm just kidding. No. Game movie. I try to think of all the games I play. You know, actually, anybody out there playing Red Dead Redemption, I would love to see a movie of that. That would be cool. That would be really cool. You know what else would be cool? Red Dead Redemption Zombies, the movie. That would be cool. We haven't really seen a zombie western. Thanks, Nawson. I hope my channel grows too, but if it doesn't, I'm still having fun doing this, and that's really all that matters. I just love to talk about movies and geek out and share my opinions. And when you guys interact with me back, that's even better. So thanks so much. All right. So I haven't checked yet, but the third person to DM me on Instagram will get a copy of Far From Home. I will check that, and I will DM you back when you win. I'm not going to make the announcement here on the live stream, but I'll get back to you and let you know, and I'll actually send you the code so you can get it today. But so look for that. Jiminator, Red Dead Redemption 2 has the best story and protagonist, period. Yeah, dude, Red Dead Redemption 2 is fantastic. I played through it once, so I only got the one ending, but I want to play through and get the other ending. It's a gorgeous game, beautiful, and the attention to detail is so great. It's so easy to get lost. It's one of those games. See, I play my games late at night after all my kids go to bed and my wife goes to bed. And I haven't played lately because with that game, I would usually start at like 11 p.m. and I would always tell myself 2 hours and then go to bed. That game pulls you in so deep that I would find myself playing way later than I should. So when I finally finished story mode, I took a break. I've taken a long break, but I can't wait to dive back in. I want to try multiplayer now that it's a little more fleshed out and see how that turns out. Do I have a guilty pleasure? As far as movies, my guiltiest pleasure as far as big franchise movies go are the Fast and Furious. Those movies are so ridiculous and over the top, but I love them to death. They're so crazy fun. Hobbs and Shaw did not disappoint. I mean, it's crazy. These guys in this franchise, these characters have gone from street level petty thieves that like to street race to they're almost like MCU level superheroes by now. Like they could literally give the Avengers a run for their money. And I love it. It's completely ridiculous. Arthur's ending, especially the last ride with Honor Man. Yeah, dude, it was a very emotional game. It's so good. I love it. I get chills thinking about it. Favorite movie ever? Oh my gosh, that is such a hard question. It's almost impossible for me to answer that, but I know my favorite. I'll tell you this: my favorite action movie of all time, and that has never wavered. It's always maintained that. Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's the perfect balance of everything: action, sci-fi, suspense. It's just so good, and it holds up. From as old as it is, it looks so good today. That's my all-time favorite action movie. Yep, so now you have to check out Fast and Furious. And I would recommend start from the beginning and go all the way through so you see the evolution. It's crazy. It's just bonkers. I mean, if you watch Hobbs and Shaw now, you'll be like, this is dumb. But if you watch how it develops, it's so fun. I watched Zombieland 2. It was a little disappointing compared to the first. Yeah, I don't agree with you, but hey, if you didn't like it, that sucks. I always hate it when you are excited about a movie and then it doesn't live up to what you expect. I really liked it. In fact, I watched Zombieland 1. I watched Zombieland 1 last night, right before I went to Zombieland 2, so it was easier for me to compare them side by side. I think I liked Zombieland 2 better. So, but watch for my review. I'm going to have that review coming out later today or tomorrow morning. Like Batman vs. Superman, Justice League. Wait, what? No, I didn't like those movies. Especially Batman vs. Superman. That's kind of where the DCEU really lost me, where I really got turned off. And it wasn't the casting of the characters. It was just, I thought they rushed everything too much. And it just, yeah, not a big fan of those movies. Oh, I gotcha. Sorry about that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for taking part in my first ever live stream. You guys made history with me. All 10 of you. But I'm going to leave this video up so people can watch it later. Feel free to hit me up with any questions anytime on Instagram. If you want to get a hold of me, I always respond to people on Instagram and Twitter. YouTube, I try to respond to all comments. It's just harder sometimes because I get a lot more of them. But I definitely will reply to you on Instagram or Twitter. So if you ever have anything to share or want to talk about a movie you just saw, hit me up. I'm happy to get back to you. Again, thanks so much for watching, and check your DMs for that winner. Maybe one of you won Far From Home. Anyway, thanks so much again, and we'll see you guys when we do the next live stream.